Welcome to Little Rock City Planning.
Chair Dillon,
Here.
Vice Chair Barry,
Here.
Commissioner Belt, Commissioner Bubbas, Commissioner Bynum,
Here.
Commissioner Cox,
Here.
Commissioner Finney, Commissioner Hamilton,
Here.
Commissioner Leahy, Commissioner Latour,
Here.
and Commissioner May. You have a quorum.
Thank you. And we will need a motion for our minutes, please.
Madam Chair, I move for the approval of the minutes of the December 17th, 2015 meeting of the Little Rock Planning Commission.
And
Second.
All in favor? And all opposed? Minutes will pass. Thank you. Now, Mr. Moore? Thanks. We are ready to begin.
Okay. Following is the consent agenda for the Little Rock Planning Commission, Planning, Rezoning, Conditional Use Hearing, January 28th, 2016. You have two items on consent withdrawal. Item A, file number Z9073, East End Public Charter School High School Conditional Use Permit, north side of the 5500 and 5600 blocks of West 28th Street. On January 19th, the applicant requested withdrawal of this item without prejudice. Staff supports that request. Item B, Z9089, Phoenix Recovery, Parolee, Probation, Housing Facility, Special Use Permit, 104 North Battery Street. On January 19th, the applicant requested this application be withdrawn. Staff supports that request. You have one item on consent deferral. Item 4, LA 68, West Rock Partnership, Advanced Grading Variance, 10901 Canis Road. Due to the comments not being forwarded to the applicant to address, staff recommends deferral of the item to the March 10th, 2016 Planning Commission agenda. Next are the items on consent approval. Item C, S 1766, Village at Gateway Townhouse Community, preliminary plat, located at 12500 Vimy Ridge Road. Staff recommends approval of the preliminary plat request subject to compliance with the comments and conditions as outlined in paragraphs D, E, and F of the agenda staff report. Staff also recommends approval of the variance request to allow advanced grading for future phases with the construction of the first phase of the subdivision. Item D, Z6526C, Parker Lexus, Shackelford West Longform PCD, located on the northwest corner of Shackelford West Boulevard and Shackelford Road. Staff recommends approval of the request subject to compliance with the comments and conditions as outlined in paragraphs D, E, and F of the agenda staff report. Staff also recommends approval of the variance request from the city's land alteration ordinance to allow grading of the site with the development of the first phase of the PCD site plan. Also, the applicant and the adjacent property owner have agreed on several conditions which will become part of the official record and will be incorporated into the rezoning ordinance, which will go to the city board. Item number 1, Z9102, a rezoning from R2 to R4, 2216 Perry Street. Staff recommends approval of the requested R4 rezoning. Item 2, Z9103, rezoning from R2 to 03, 10,115 Rodney Parham Road. Staff recommends approval of the requested 03 rezoning. And item 3, A326, Canis Ridge Estates annexation, 14600 block of Canis Road. Staff recommends approval of the annexation request. That concludes the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Moore.
I'm sorry, but counsel on Parker Lexus has changed his mind, and he wants the conditions officially read into the record. So
Okay.
here we go.
Thank you.
Maintain a 15-foot wide strip along the western property line. The strip will be cleared of all trees and planted with grass and ground cover. It will be kept free from bushes or trees. No retaining walls will be constructed in this 15-foot wide strip. In the landscape strip east of and adjacent to the 15-foot wide strip described in one above, any trees planted will be such a variety that and species so that when these trees mature, they would not have branches that would hang over the property. Tim, that's terrible. Anyway, the trees that are planted won't have limbs that grow over the fence. When landscape plans for the western boundary of the PCD are prepared, they will be submitted to the adjacent property owner for review and comment prior to approval by the city to confirm that the plans comply with the intent of 1, 2, and 3 above. No storm water runoff will be diverted onto the property to the west of this PCD by the construction of improvements or grading related to the PCD. Storm drainage will be constructed by the applicant to ensure that the existing drainage courses on the adjacent property to the west is not impacted.
Thank you, Ms. James. Okay, we're going to need to get a motion, please.
Yes, Madam Chair, I move for approval of the consent agenda as read and all conditions read by staff therein.
Can I get a second? Second. And all in favor?
Well, I'll have to step aside on item C.
Okay,
It's 1766. I worked on that previously.
okay. Thank you, Troy.
All the rest of it, well, I'm good to go.
Okay. All in favor? And all opposed? The consent agenda passes. Thank you all for coming. And now we have time for citizen communication. Oh, Ms. Barr. Then we are adjourned. Thank you.